Hello, BTS lovers. Is it possible that an idol so beloved as Kim Taehyung, or BTS's V, finds himself in the middle of a storm of controversy that even he himself didn't expect to happen? How can a response from a major agency like Hybe shake fans, emotions to the point of collective outrage erupting around the world? And most surprisingly, what exactly happened to Taehyung, the prince of fans' hearts, looking so shocked and disappointed by the move taken by his own agency? Behind the sparkle of the K-pop world full of charm and harmony, the real world involving idols, fans, and agencies is often much more complicated than it seems. Recently, an unexpected situation involving BTS's Taehyung, Hybe, and the ARMY community gave rise to a story that drew global attention. With cryptic clues, confusion, and misunderstandings piling up, this controversy is not just about what happened, but also how it all happened and the impact it had on the relationship between idols, agencies, and fans. It all started with a post that suddenly appeared on an online community platform. The post contained a horrendous claim. A decision involving Taehyung's offstage activities had allegedly been ignored by Hybe. The content of the post did not directly mention what it meant, but it was enough to spark wild speculation among the ARMY. The first shock came when Hybe, who is usually quick to deal with these kinds of issues with quick clarification, chose to remain silent for more than 24 hours. This made the ARMY even more restless, and online discussions became even more heated. Does this mean that Hybe is indeed negligent? Or is there another reason behind their reticence? A few days later, Taehyung surprisingly appeared on the Weverse platform, posting a short message that seemed to hint at his disappointment. "I just hope everyone can understand what really happened." This message, although it sounds neutral, is a new fuel for speculation. Is this Taehyung's frustration with the situation? Was he disappointed in Hybe, or in the public response that was too quick to draw conclusions? Taehyung's reaction brought a lot of emotion to the fans. ARMY is known as one of the most protective fandoms in the world, and seeing their idols express such feelings is a heart-wrenching moment. Many felt that Hybe had failed to protect Taehyung from public pressure, while others urged for more transparency from all parties involved. When Hybe finally gave an official statement, the result was not what the ARMY expected. Instead of giving clear clarifications, their statements were considered too general and did not answer the main question. In the statement, Hybe said only that they are closely monitoring the situation and will continue to work to support our artists. For most of the ARMY, this statement felt like a form of evasion, not responsibility. "We need answers, not rhetoric," exclaimed one of the fans on Twitter. This discontent led to a larger wave of online protests, with thousands of fans calling for a boycott of Hybe-affiliated products until they provided a more adequate explanation. Rumors began to spread that Hybe's controversial decision was related to the cancellation or major changes to one of Taehyung's long-awaited solo projects. Some fans even speculate that this decision is not just a matter of business, but also related to more complicated internal dynamics. However, without clear confirmation, it is difficult to distinguish fact from speculation. Amid this chaos, several unnamed internal sources revealed to Korean media that Taehyung himself had actually made a special request to Hybe regarding the project. However, the request was not accommodated for logistical and time reasons, which made Taehyung feel cornered. If so, does this indicate an imbalance in the relationship between the agency and the artist, even at the level of a star of Taehyung's class? On the other hand, the ARMY did not stand still. In various countries, fans began organizing campaigns to show their support for Taehyung. From LED advertising in downtown Seoul to trending global topics that carry messages full of love and passion for Taehyung, they try to make sure that the idol knows that he is not alone. Several celebrities, including Taehyung's close friends, also spoke up. In an unexpected interview, a famous singer said, "Taehyung is a true artist who always works hard to give his best. She deserves full support, not only from fans, but also from those around her." As time went on, this controversy opened up a wider discussion about how major entertainment agencies handle their artists, especially when it comes to communication with the public and fans. Many argue that Hybe, as one of the biggest players in the K-pop industry, has a greater responsibility to explain their actions transparently, especially when it comes to globally influential artists like Taehyung. For Taehyung himself, this moment may be a reminder of the tremendous pressure that comes with his status as a world idol. However, behind all this drama, one thing remains clear. The relationship between Taehyung and ARMY remains solid. Even in the midst of a storm of controversy, their love and support never wavered. What is the next step for Hybe? Will they finally give an adequate explanation? And more importantly, how will Taehyung continue his journey in the midst of all this? Behind all the speculation and emotion involved, one thing is certain. The eyes of the world will continue to be on every development of this story. This controversy may be temporary, but its impact on the Korean entertainment industry and the relationship between artists, agencies, and fans could be bigger than we can imagine. For now, we can only hope that all parties involved find a path to a satisfactory resolution for Taehyung, for the ARMY, and for the truth. A fandom that has long been known not only as fans, but also as a well-organized community. ARMY doesn't let their disappointment stop on social media. After Hybe issued an official statement that was considered disappointing, the ARMY began to move in a more strategic way. Several ARMY groups in various countries decided to send an open letter to Hybe, demanding greater transparency and respect for Taehyung. These letters were composed in polite but firm language, demonstrating the professionalism of the ARMY in conveying their complaints. Some even involve lawyers to make sure their messages get serious attention on the part of the agency. In addition, various symbolic actions began to appear on social media and in the real world. Fans in South Korea, for example, put up billboards near Hybe's office that read messages of support for Taehyung as well as criticizing the agency for failing to carry out its responsibilities. On the other hand, ARMY International launched an online petition that managed to collect hundreds of thousands of signatures in less than 24 hours. However, the action that attracted the most attention was the fundraising initiative carried out by the ARMY to support charity activities on Taehyung's behalf. Quickly, the funds raised exceeded the initial target, showing that despite facing controversy, love and support for Taehyung never subsided. Behind the scenes, this situation clearly puts Hybe in a very difficult position. As the agency that manages the largest group in the world, they have a lot to consider. On the one hand, Hybe must maintain a good relationship with fans, which is the main basis of their success. But on the other hand, they also have to run the business with efficiency and strategic decisions that may not always be liked by all parties. In a report leaked to the media, an insider at Hybe revealed that this controversy became one of the biggest public relations crises ever faced by the company. We did not expect that the ARMY's response would be this strong. We thought this issue could be muted with a general statement, but it turned out to be not enough. The source said, Hybe finally called an emergency meeting to discuss the next step. Some internal parties reportedly urged the company to take more transparent steps, such as providing detailed explanations regarding the decision that sparked the controversy. However, there are also those who worry that too much information will actually open more loopholes for criticism.